Hello YouTube! It's a cold day, but we're warming up with this. Yes, so this is a 4.2 naturally aspirated V8 engine in a gated 6-speed manual. Such an iconic car, as this was Audi's first attempt of a supercar, and they nailed it. The launch was hugely successful, as well as cleverly placing it in the Iron Man film to make every driver feel like a genius billionaire playboy philanthropist. Sporting quad exhaust pipes with around 420-ish brake horsepower and 317 pounds of torque, this car can reach speeds of up to 190 miles per hour with 0 to 60 in about 4.2 seconds. Such high revving car.
Its contrasting side blades sparked controversy and arguably made the car look unmistakably Audi. You see, it's mostly made of aluminium, giving it a curb weight of around 1600 kg, with some carbon fibre as an option. Although not fitted here, you can add carbon fibre to the iconic side blades and engine bay, which also unfortunately does not have this feature, as well as having them added to the trim of the interior inlays, which this car does have. The engine sits in the middle, balancing the front and rear weight, and are able to maintain equal traction in all four wheels, also making handling incredibly stable, and sports a retractable spoiler to help keep the car down at high speeds by lowering drag when airflow isn't sufficient to create downforce. At 43,000 miles on the clock, this model specs twin 5-spoke 19-inch silver alloy wheels, cream leather electronically adjustable heated seats, auto-dimming mirrors, as well as electric folded heated mirrors, engine bay welcome lights, and the sought-after magnetic ride suspension.
Also, thanks to Audi's all-wheel drive, aka their Quattro system, the Audi R8 actually isn't that scary to drive. You see, unlike other rear-wheeled supercars, Audi has come up with a way to allow only a maximum of 30% power to be used at the front. Now, if you want to scratch an itch, you can pick up a high mileage one, which would be about the 70 to 90k on the clock mileage at around 30 to 33,000 pounds. And that's a lot of car for what you're paying. Such a bargain. Don't get me wrong. Of course, if your budget allows for it, I would opt for the naturally aspirated 5.2 litre version, yes, the V10, also in a manual, simply for bragging rights. You see, on these English roads, where 20 miles per hour is the norm, if it's not already, and all the countless potholes and speed bumps, there isn't much room to hear the roar of the V10 or justify the bigger costs in repairs. However, the burbling deep sounds of the V8 when idling or on cold starts, along with roads just long enough for the V8 to make its roar before simmering down, makes the V8 the perfect everyday supercar. Now, with all this high praise and glory, let's talk about some downsides of the Audi R8. Now, the number one spot on the list is definitely Audi's infotainment system. When the Audi R8 first came out, other cars like Mercedes and BMWs already had sat-navs and music playing systems far ahead of its time. I mean, if using Audi as the base comparison, it's slow, fiddly, not to mention it's awkward to follow sat-nav. However, nowadays you would use Google Maps or Waze to navigate whilst listening to music via Bluetooth on your mobile phone. Secondly, the interior design, apart from the carbon fiber that you see here on the dash and on the door panels, if you've owned an Audi previously like I did with a TT, everything seems all too familiar, like the buttons on the heated seats, for example, or even the buttons where the mag ride sits along with the retractable spoiler and the hazard lights and ESP. The leather seats also remind me of my Audi TT previously, as well as the Audi steering wheel. It sounds to me like someone had a huge night out, got really drunk, and ended up copy and pasting their work the next day for the R8 project.
Although you don't buy these kind of cars for boot space, it can fit a few bits, an overnight bag, and by that I mean a car cover if you ever stay somewhere for the night, space for football boots, shout out to Sondico, and of course spare cleaning cloths for tree saps and bird droppings. While the shelf at the back can definitely fit an airplane carry-on luggage, a big puffer coat, and a backpack, yeah, it's probably best to save IKEA bought furniture for larger boot cars.
Overall, the Audi R8 is a great car, one with a timeless design, a future classic. Yes, it has outdated interior, but as a true car enthusiast, is your focus more on the latest Apple CarPlay features or the roaring sound of a V8 as you push out of a corner? If you liked what you see, please comment and subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and I'll see you at the next one.